I mean, so everybody got the headline that the Sevens programme has been axed. I don't know. To me, it's like a bit of a beauty contest, and they came off worst. IRFU looked and said, where is the medium low-hanging fruit? We need to make a statement. I mean, just to give a bit of backdrop, I'm no accountant, but 92 million was the revenue of the IRFU in 21-22, and it fell to 71.5. I know some of that because there was no autumn internationals in 23 as a World Cup year, but also broadcast income, I guess, provincial competition income from the IRFU has gone from 20 million in 21-22 to 8-9 million. Overall, what I'm saying is we were in a kind of a financial bubble. Irish rugby was flying and all the rest of it, but we can see with the Welsh, we can see with the New Zealand. Global rugby is under revenue pressure, and for revenue means bums on seats, eyeballs, all of that. It's not particularly happy. Private equity waded in a few years ago. I haven't heard much from them recently.
Yeah, and it's a very simple way to describe it, but what you said about the beauty contest does ring true, and we have been in a bubble of success and money in Ireland. If you look at our Celtic neighbours, like Scotland and Wales have both flirted. They got rid of Sevens programmes, bought 7 programmes back, got rid of A teams, brought them back. There's a lot. We've been the only country that have said, we'll have an A team, we'll fund an A team, we'll fund a Sevens programme. It's a difficult thing to come on national it's very emotive at the minute, and a lot of the arguments being made for it are emotive because people have lost their jobs in a very abrupt manner.
Well, let's stay with that because there is a human element to everything, I mean, behind it.
But before you get into, if we take the accountant's hat out, it's not a good look.
3 months' notice, day.
Yeah, and the Sevens programme, after the Olympics, and you felt like the men's and women's Sevens were starting to compete more, series wins. It felt like a very positive kind of story, and to pull the plug. So from an emotional side, dreadful.
OK, we get back to the rugby side, but I know that people connected with the Sevens men, because the women are staying put, and that's a different and interesting story too in terms of the pathways and all the rest of it. They're asking, there was a meeting with David Humphreys this morning, we hear, and there's another one tonight, who knows. They're saying it was 450 grand, which isn't a massive amount in the overall context. They're asking to publish this review, which apparently showed that the Sevens wasn't delivering whatever it was meant to, highlight the net cost of running the programme, and were alternative sources of finance used to plug that 450 grand. That's a little bit technical. But in general, I suppose, people connected could be entitled to publish the review anyway.
Yeah, look, I think everybody involved with the Sevens programme knew that it was coming under serious pressure. I mean, the bottom line is the union have posted losses in 3 of the last 4 years. They're posting a loss of 18 million for last year, but that was a World Cup year, so your costs are far greater and the income generated from the revenue hasn't been distributed as yet. But where I do see issues for the Sevens people, they knew there were problems, but they were to be consulted. My understanding is none of the players were consulted about this. The manner in which it was handled has been really poor.
And that's that emotional thing then, isn't it? Because you feel badly treated.
Absolutely. Now, I think they changed the structure and organisation of the Sevens tournaments worldwide 3 years ago. And since then, World Rugby, that's the old IRB, the controlling factions, they've lost 25 million out of the Sevens series. So it's not rocket science that something was going to happen. It's the manner in which it was communicated. There's been no explanation, and that's why I think all the furore is there. But, but you could understand, how families and players, that they're so emotional about it. They've invested their time. And then, the most anybody in the Sevens series was paid from an Irish contingent, I think the maximum salary was 30,000 a year. So they were investing more of themselves. They weren't doing it for the money, is what I'm saying.
No, exactly. And, but the other point, and I mean, the parents and supporters won't probably be on this side of the argument, was the emotional connection between the public and the Sevens never, whether it's not in our DNA or whether it needed more time, I suppose. They would say, give it more time, like the women's game, it needs investment and it'll deliver.
What I loved about it was an ability to grow the game. One, you're playing in the biggest and best cities in the world, and it's televised all over the world. But it's an opportunity to go to the Olympics. It's a pathway for certain players who either fall through the
bad decision, you're saying, in general. Make a bigger effort to keep it.
I think find a way, and if you are going to axe it, there has to be an alternative route as to where are we going to get this pathway, how are we going to grow the game in a different way. I really like the Sevens programme. I think it's a real shame that's been cut.